Patrick, I just wanted to just finally on this point, in terms of the balance of the Conservative Party, and we've heard rumblings that there could be major opposition to Liz Truss, Boris Johnson taking unilateral action on the protocol from Lords, and I bet some of those will be probably Conservative Remain Lords and Remainer MPs. In terms of the way forward for the Conservative Party, do you still think that there's a major issue there in terms of the balance of it? Overwhelmingly pro-Brexit membership and grassroots, and those in Westminster.
Yeah, I think it's really damaging the sort of selling point to leave voters that the Conservative Party has now. It's fairly obvious, isn't it, that there's a big group of Tory MPs who haven't bought into the vision, haven't bought into levelling up, the focus on blue collar concerns, still aren't behind Brexit, want to go back to the days of David Cameron or even John Major and feel that they represent the centre ground. And the referendum showed that the centre ground was actually wanting to leave the European Union. So that patrician element, there was a big weeding out at the last election with the likes of Rory Stewart and David Gauke, etc., departing. But there's still the Tobias Ellwoods, Tom Tugendhat, Theresa May, Jeremy Hunt. There's still this large group of MPs who aren't with the programme that we want to see the government get on, and on a whole variety of issues, from the channel hopping migrants to the completion of Brexit by sorting out the Northern Ireland Protocol. They just aren't on board. Some of them are consumed with personal bitterness, but they go along with woke. They expect that they like being written up in positive terms by the Guardian or the BBC. So the Tory party actually isn't very coherent, and actually maybe the Prime Minister needs to do what he did before the last election and take the whip away from some of these and actually produce a political party that can keep faith with what its supporters want to see.
What do you make of these reports that we've seen over the past few weeks, and sort of a ramping up of media appearances of Jeremy Hunt? Rumours swirling around, and this is what I'm saying to people at the moment. Well, if Boris Johnson does go, who is likely in the Conservative Party to replace him? It seems to me, Jeremy Hunt is now being talked of more and more in terms of the reports as someone who potentially fancies the top job. Of course, Boris Johnson beat him in the Tory membership runoff. How likely do you think it would be that if Boris was ousted by Conservative MPs, that it would be someone like Jeremy Hunt coming in? And what do you think that would mean for the future of the Tory party?
I mean, it could easily be Jeremy Hunt, who, is just a clone home counties Tory, really, that interchangeable from David Cameron going all the way back to John Major. If Jeremy Hunt is the answer, I don't know what the question is, but working class voters, particularly further away from London, will not be remotely convinced that Jeremy Hunt would deliver on their issues. The race, if there is a contest, obviously the Tory grassroots membership will get to ultimately decide, but only between two contenders. So it could easily be a stitch up. You look around the cabinet table, the competition not that hot at the moment, is it? Rishi Sunak seems to have completely blown up. Longer term Brexiteers like me are far from convinced by Liz Truss. Priti Patel hasn't delivered, partly because her civil servants may be sabotaging everything, but she hasn't found the wit to get around that. No one trusts Michael Gove. I mean, it's a bit of you can see it, a former Cameron era quote, big hitter, whether that's what you consider Jeremy Hunt, being able to come back and sort of somehow taking charge. But I think if that happens, I really think the whole Conservative Red Wall project just falls apart.